the reason why we didn't make a video in the first place is because we never thought there was a good enough idea for us to present ourselves in a video format, in a different kind of way. And this idea came about and it was original enough and different enough for us to pursue it. I mean, as far as making videos is concerned, we never really knocked videos. We never said that we were definitely never going to make a video. I mean, Cliff and all proved that. We decided, well, I mean, we've never actually done it. Let's try it and see what it's like. And when we did actually set out to do one, we found out that it was pretty interesting and it was different enough for us to give it our seal of approval, and that's the way it turned out.
Right. Was there actually a video made for Harvest of Sorrow?
No, this is the only video we've ever made other than Clip and All. Some personal videos that we make with our video cameras.
Yeah. And what does it look like being a third single lifted off the Justice album?
I don't see one coming out. I think either Beholder and one are designed to be released.
Right. Now, just recently the band made a live appearance on the much talked about Grammys, of course. So personally, I never ever thought that I'd see Metallica on the Grammys.
Me neither. It was pretty funny. It was kind of cool. I was nervous. I was just nervous that something would go wrong with my equipment, but it was pretty different. The important thing overall is not winning or losing or anything like that. It's being there and making a statement and solidifying the category for the genre of heavy metal, because this was the Grammys, an institution that's been around for 25 years or so. It's great that this type of music has finally been acknowledged by the Grammys, and it was a cool thing. And I was very proud that our band was picked to represent this genre. What the hell is that?
Did the actual audience sort of know that Metallica were going to make like a live on stage appearance, or was it a bit of a surprise type thing?
Well, the way the Grammys work is that once the nominees are picked, they ask all the nominees whether or not they want to make an appearance, because they don't know who wants to play or who doesn't, so they ask all the nominees. And we jumped at the chance. And the second question they ask is whether you want to play live or lip sync, because there are some bands who are lip syncing and some bands who are playing live, and we just jumped out of hell. Let's go for it. Let's play live. And we played loud. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I can imagine some of those sort of conservative people in their chairs at the Grammys and stuff would have been pretty amazing to sort of see their faces and stuff. So Mayor Koch, Mayor Tom Bradley, the mayor of LA, who's in his seat and his every word, house driving away. Is pretty fun. I can imagine. So. Of course, Metallica never won the award, and of course we've all heard about Jethro Tull winning it. Were you? I mean, the band must have been. I know you've already said you weren't there to win it and that kind of stuff, but you must have been pretty disappointed that a band like Jethro Tull, who I would classify as like a psychedelic rock band or something.
Well, you should be kind of interesting to hear this. I thought that AC/DC was going to win. Australia's best. I was, now that I think about it, I would have wished they would have won. I didn't expect us to win. I mean, come on. It was a bit too much to ask. We've had a good year, everything else. I mean, if we would have won the Grammy, it would have been, too good. So I thought I doubt if we're going to win. We can't win. I would have I'd like to have seen it gone to AC/DC, but Jethro Tull, I mean, they opened up this category to reach the younger bands, the younger hard rock bands. And they picked Jethro Tull, who's been around for 25 years and probably old enough to father some of the other people in these other bands that they picked.
Yeah.
Which is ironic.
Yeah, well, I think why people probably would have had their money on Metallica was the fact that, you compare Metallica to AC/DC, and I mean, Metallica will always be more metalish than what AC/DC were, and because of the band's success and because it's more of a metal sound, that's probably why I think people thought that Metallica would have, why they had their money on Metallica. So
yeah. It's strange, A lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of people who vote on the Grammys are people who are anywhere between the majority of people are anywhere between 35 to 65, and these are all people who have been around, ever since they're in their 20s or so, and a lot of it has to do with just name recognition. These people are voting on a bunch of different categories pop, jazz, whatsoever. And when they see a name like Jethro Tull, which has been around for 25 years or so, there's just more name recognition than anything else. A lot of these people who are 35, 40, 55, 60, 65, never even heard of Metallica or an AC/DC or an Iggy Pop or whatever, and they weren't about to vote blindly, and the majority of them had heard of Jethro Tull because they've been around so long, and I think that had a lot to do with how Jethro Tull was.
Right. Early in the interview, I was talking about bands, Metallica's lyrics, how you progress and stuff. One band that I'm still very, very disappointed with, and I'm sure you know these bands, the guys very, very well, of course, is the guys from Slayer. Musically they seem to be getting a lot better, but their lyrics are sort of going backward. And I was, seeing a photograph of Tom Araya in Kerrang and a few other magazines, and he's actually wearing a T-shirt that actually says sex, murder, and rape, and I just sort of find that so amazing. I mean, I'm sure one of those kids are going to walk out of a Slayer concert sort of wondering what it all means, and may even sort of try to find out what it all means,
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a certain amount of responsibility that comes with presenting yourself. I mean, you want to present yourself the way you wish to seem, and a lot of the times, they try to present themselves as being these wicked musicians. I don't know what their whole trip is, but I just don't see it as being too particularly bright, presenting themselves the way they do. Some people are into it. Some people aren't. And I think it's just boring singing about the same old thing all the time, which they sing about, which is, mass murder and Satanism and hell and all that other stuff. It's just a crutch.
Yeah.
For not being able to come up with other topics. I mean, I must admit, we sing about, pretty gloomy things ourselves, but at least we try to approach it in a, I hate to say this, a sociological way, in where it could happen, and it does. We put it into scenarios that are very, very possible, and I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah, it certainly is, because I've heard, we've never seen Slayer in Australia, and I've heard some live bootlegs of them, and they sort of talk about raping corpses from the grave, and it's just so full on. It's it's just a real bit of a worry, actually.
Well, I can't take it personally. I mean, personally, I can't take it very seriously, and I would like to be taken seriously because, you know, this is a serious thing. You put a lot of time and effort into music and such, and when you write lyrics like that, I mean, you want, well, when you write lyrics in general, you want them to be the best that they can be, and you want them to be taken seriously. But how serious can you take a song about, you know, necrophilia?
Yeah. Because you guys would know the guys from Slade pretty well and stuff, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know Tom, and yeah, I know all those guys pretty well. And they're not like that normally.
Yeah. Alright, well, of course, Metallica, it's the very, very first time to Australia and stuff, so what can we expect to see from Metallica very, very soon in Melbourne?
Well, every one of our shows is different, so I don't know as much as you do. We're probably going to put in a 2-hour plus set.
Right.
Yeah, so we're going to try and play as much as possible because we just like to play.
Right.
And, you know, what happens. We keep it pretty open and pretty spontaneous. Try not to put too much time into, you know, planning everything that goes on at the gig.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, like I said, it'll be interesting to see what happens, you know.
Right. So like every gig that Metallica does, do you sort of always change the set around and add songs and drop songs and stuff?
Yeah, and, you know, there's a lot of other goofy things that we do. We like to play around a bit in between songs and... Right. But, still do some loose jamming, you know, on stuff. You'll see what I mean once when we actually play.
Yeah.
A lot of goofing about.
Yeah, so when Metallica isn't on the road and stuff, I know that James, he gets himself involved in like another kind of band that he's also affiliated with and stuff. Do you sort of, you know, spend time with other bands, like maybe looking at producing them or doing recording demo tapes with them or anything?
It all depends on what the situation is. When we get off the road this time around, we'll have at least a year off. And within that year, I'll probably be busy trying to come up with music, you know, for the next Metallica album. I mean, that's my main priority at this point. And the band in general is like my main priority. And if I have time to go out and, you know, produce a band that I might find, you know, that might happen. But as of this time, I'm not scheduling myself for anything other than just trying to come up with music.
Right. Okay, Kirk, just before we go, if you could do a station